All right, today we're diving into something huge. We're talking about AI's next great leap, and it's not just about text and images. We're going way beyond that, looking at how AI is starting to decode the very fabric of our physical world. From the tiniest molecules all the way up to thinking machines, it's going to be a wild ride.
So what is that next big leap for AI? We hear all the time about its creative side, its linguistic skills, but where's the really groundbreaking stuff happening?
Well, the answer lies far beyond the stuff we see every day. The chatbots and the image generators. A whole new frontier is cracking open. We're talking about AI as this incredible, universal tool for scientific discovery. It's starting to solve problems that have kept scientists up at night for decades.
Okay, so our journey is going to start at the smallest scale imaginable. The fundamental building blocks of life itself. Yeah, we're talking about modeling molecules.
For half a century, one of the biggest, baddest challenges in all of biology has been something called the protein folding problem. So picture this. You have this long string of amino acids, and you have to predict the incredibly complex 3D shape it's going to twist itself into. Why does that matter? Because that shape determines everything it does. Getting that right is literally the key to understanding how biology works.
So you might remember AlphaFold 2. That was a total revolution, right? It could predict the structure of individual proteins. But AlphaFold 3? Wow, this is a massive leap. It's not just looking at one protein in isolation anymore. It's predicting how pretty much all the molecules of life interact with each other. We're talking proteins, DNA, RNA, even the tiny little molecules that stick to them. It's like we went from having a dictionary of individual words to suddenly understanding the entire grammar of life.
And look, this isn't just some small improvement. The jump here is absolutely enormous. When you look at what's called docking accuracy, which is just a fancy way of saying predicting exactly how molecules stick together, AlphaFold 3 is nearly twice as accurate as the best models we had before. Look at those numbers. We are for sure entering a whole new era of precision in biology. So what does this actually mean for you and me? Well, this new predictive power has just staggering implications. This image here kind of gives you a sense of the sheer scale. We're talking about supercharging drug design, finally understanding complex genetic diseases, creating new vaccines faster than ever, and even designing brand new nanomaterials. It literally touches almost every single corner of medicine and biology.
What it boils down to is this. AI has just handed us a dynamic, living, interactive map of the molecular world. And that could completely revolutionize medicine as we know it. No exaggeration.
Okay, so we've seen how AI can model the world of biology. Pretty amazing, right? But now, let's flip the script. Let's turn that powerful lens around and point it back at the AI itself. It's time to peek inside the digital mind, the AI brain. And here's a fascinating paradox for you. As we build these incredibly powerful AIs, like AlphaFold, to understand our world, we're realizing we also need to understand how the AI itself thinks. A whole new field of science is popping up just to figure out what's going on inside these black boxes.
Which, of course, leads to a pretty crucial question. As these AI models get more and more powerful, are they all starting to think in the same way?
Well, an award-winning paper from NeurIPS, that's one of the biggest AI conferences in the world, came up with a name for this phenomenon that's, it's both brilliant and a little bit chilling. They call it the artificial hive mind. So, what on earth does that mean? Basically, the researchers found two things. First, any single AI model tends to get stuck in a rut, spitting out repetitive, similar answers. But here's the real surprise. Different AI models from totally different companies, trained on different data, they're all starting to produce strikingly similar stuff. And here's the big concern. What happens to human creativity and original thought in the long run if we all start relying on tools that are slowly becoming one and the same? This research really shines a spotlight on a critical challenge for the whole field. It's this incredible balancing act. How do you make AIs safe and aligned with what we want without accidentally squashing the creative diversity that makes human thinking so special in the first place? All right, so we've journeyed from molecules to digital minds. For this last leg, we're taking AI out of the computer and putting it right into the physical world. We're talking about robotics and teaching machines how to actually understand the world around them.
For years, the way we tried to teach a robot about the world was, it was incredibly clunky. The AI would literally try to predict the future one pixel at a time, like it was trying to generate a movie. It was super slow, computationally expensive, and honestly, it often missed the point. But now there's this new approach called semantic world models, and it just flips the whole problem on its head. The idea is, forget predicting pixels. Instead, just predict the answers to simple questions about the future. And this diagram here just explains the idea perfectly. Instead of trying to generate this whole complicated video of a robot arm moving, the AI is just asked a simple question. Something like, hey, if I do these moves, will the peg end up touching the green block? The answer is just a simple yes or no. It's so much more direct and efficient because it focuses on what actually matters for the task.
And this leads to a really elegant and, frankly, simple thought process for the robot. Step 1, you give it a goal, but you phrase it as a question. Like, is the red cube on top of the blue cube? Step 2, the AI comes up with a plan, a sequence of actions. Step 3, it uses its new model to predict, will these actions get me to a yes answer? And finally, step 4, it just executes the plan that has the best shot at success. It's such an intuitive way for a machine to think and act in the real world.
So, does it work? Oh yeah, it works. In fact, it works incredibly well. On some really complex robotics tasks, this new approach hit an 81.6% success rate. And the old way it was being compared to, a measly 14.4%. I mean, that is just a monumental leap in performance. It shows you just how powerful this new way of thinking is for robots.
So we've looked at the world of molecules, we've peeked into digital minds, and we've seen machines interact with the physical world. Now, let's tie it all together and see what the big picture really looks like. What we've done here is take a journey across 3 different scales of understanding. Remember? We started at the absolute microscopic level, decoding the building blocks of life itself. Then we zoomed into the digital realm, trying to understand the inner logic of AIs. And we wrapped up in the physical world, seeing how machines can interact with it in a totally new way.
So, what's the big takeaway here? It's this. AI isn't just a collection of tools for specific tasks anymore. It's truly evolving into something more like a universal lens, a single, unified way to decode complexity, wherever you find it.
And that leaves us with one final, mind-bending thought. What happens when these different worlds start to connect? I mean, what happens when an AI that can design a brand new drug molecule can then send instructions to a robot that truly understands the physical world, which can then automatically create and test it? That is the future this new frontier is pointing to, and it's happening faster than any of us think.